Hello, welcome to this short presentation about the NWEA BMAP 2003-2011 longitudinal study for Ryan Elementary School for grades 2, 3, 4 in math, reading, language usage. My name is Mark Kiefner. I'm the principal of Ryan Elementary School, also Chicago Street School, I am the MAP coordinator for Bronson Community Schools. The first slide shows the mathematics measurable goal areas that are assessed on the Michigan version 3 NWEA assessment. We call it BMAP for Bronson's Measures of Academic Progress. Number and operations, algebra, measurement, geometry, and data and probability are the 5 measurable goal areas. In each one of these areas, students receive about 8 questions that are relative to the subtopics. If students get one question right, they get a little more difficult question. If they get one wrong, they get an easier question. So therefore, this is a computer adaptive assessment that is given on our computers in our computer labs. It's given 3 times per year, but these scores that we're going to look at represent the spring final scores compared to the national norms. More specifically, the national norms of 2011. We have 3 grade levels represented here in this graph. The first yellow line going horizontally across represents the 2011 national norms. Then there's a somewhat turquoise colored line going horizontally represents the 3rd grade national norm. Then there's a blue line towards the top that represents the 4th grade national norm in mathematics. Then we have the history of the 2nd grade going across in a kind of a fuchsia color, pink color. And then a trend line is laid in place over that through the Excel spreadsheet formula. And we can see that back in 2003, 185.5 was the RIT score for math in the spring. And now, in the past 4 years, the Ryan School has been above the 2011 national norm at the scores of 193.8, 193.1, 192.2, and 192.2. We like that there is kind of a plateauing effect going on with that 2nd grade outcomes, and we like to see it continue to go up. The 3rd grade demonstrates another positive trend line starting at 195.7 in 2003 and going up to 2011 at 203.9. The past 3 years they've had spring outcomes above the national norm of 2011. And the 3rd grade also has a similar trend line pattern. It is a good point to note that notice in the year 2003 the 4th grade was really one whole grade level behind in the assessment because they were at 203.1, which is now the 2011 national norm. But now they demonstrate 3 spring scores that are above the blue 4th grade national norm. Here's our reading measurable goal areas that are assessed in the NWEA. 3 times per year we take it at Bronson Community Schools. And here's the reading spring reading RIT scores. Once again, we have 3 grade levels. The 2nd grade, the 3rd grade, the 4th grade national norms going completely horizontal across the graph. And the 2nd grade, 180.4 was the 2003, and now we're up to 187. Back in 2008, we did hit the 2011 national norm line. We do demonstrate a positive trend line. We have plateaued in the past few years, and we'd like to see that increase. In 3rd grade, we are above the national norm 2 years in 2009, 2010. That started way back in 2003 at 191.8. In 4th grade, notice once again the 4th grade was over 1 year behind at 198.1 in 2003, and now they're at 207.6 with 3 years at or above the current 2011 national norm. And then here's our language usage, measurable goal areas for writing genre, writing process, grammar and usage, grammatical structures, punctuation, capitalization, and the 5th measurable goal area, spelling. Once again, students receive 7 to 8 questions in each one of these measurable goal areas. If they get one right, they get a tougher question. If they get one wrong, it gets easier. And the system assesses with standard error measurement for us to declare what the RIT score would be for that child. It also generates a percentile, a national percentile, to let us know how our students compare across the nation. This is our language usage. Another thing to note is the best way to assess writing, though, is through a performance-based assessment, having the kids actually write and using a rubric. But we do look at this as content knowledge for language usage. And here are the 3 grade levels at Ryan: 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. The national norm line going parallel horizontally across the graph. And you see the blue line represents the 2nd grade, kind of bouncing around, but it does establish a positive trend line with 2 times or 3 times above or at the national norm in the past 4 years for 2nd grade. And with the 3rd graders, 2 times above the national norm, the 2011 national norm. And the 4th grade have hit 3 times above the national norm in language usage. Notice that most of these above the national norm end of the year outcomes have occurred after we've implemented the work of MyBLESI, which is Positive Behavior Support Initiative, and also RTI, Response to Intervention Instruction. And we've implemented Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions and extensions. We like these positive trend lines and we want to see them continue. We do want to note that in the past 3 years we have plateaued somewhat. And that concludes our short presentation. Thank you very much.